I got a phone call. That's it. I'm just kidding. I got a phone call, and this guy was telling me about the offensive traffic that was being sent from my computer. The only problem was I don't have a Windows computer. So
VTech Solutions, and this is in regards to your computer. How are you doing today again?
Excellent.
I was busy. I wasn't.
That's very good to hear, Mr. Shalian. The reason I call you is to inform you, that from 2 to 3 weeks now, we are constantly receiving high alert signals to our server from your computer.
So did he say he's receiving a lot of signals from your computer? Is that what he just said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Signals.
Signals. Okay.
It has unknowingly downloaded some batch files from the internet. You aware about this?
No, that's shocking. What address is that coming from?
You're already on to him now.
Sorry?
Oh, what IP address does that come from? I work in IT. That's why I asked.
Oh, you work in IT?
You work in IT, okay?
I work in IT, so I'm just curious. What address? Because I have a number of different computers. I've got a couple at my office, a couple at my home. So I'm wondering could you tell me which IP address those are coming from? I'd just be interested to know which one's causing the problem.
This is the Dell one, Dell laptop with the service tag 1WM.
So, question for you: how can you tell that it's a Dell since the MAC address won't pass through a layer 3 device like a router?
Because you might be connecting your router and using internet, but has reinstalled, redesigned Windows and installed them to the computers. That's the reason the one which download this virus from the internet. You might be using it.
But I have 2 questions. You haven't answered either of them. My first question is, which IP address is the offending traffic coming from? So I can narrow that down. I know which machine we're talking to. And the second thing is, I'm curious. Most companies identify hardware manufacturers by the MAC address. Right, but MAC addresses aren't going to transition through a layer 3 device like a router, and every computer I own is sitting behind a router. So I'm curious as to how you'd identify the make and model of it.
You said the MAC address?
Right, MAC address. That's the hardware address on the network card. You said you work for you guys work for a solutions company. You're going to fix my computer?
I believe you already, have many homeworks to do, right, for your IT classes, right?
Yeah.
Homework for your IT
I don't have
classes.
any homework. I'm actually working for 10 years, so I actually don't have any homework. But I'd like to find more out about this. So which computer? If you could tell me which IP address?
Yeah, he knows he's busted.
But now he starts getting interested.
Yeah, he's busted. He's busted. He's got to turn it around.
Everything, but Mr. Shelley, I will first like you to know. You are a very curious person,
I'm a very curious person. I'm just saying, when you call me and tell me that one of my computers is providing offending traffic, but you can't even tell me which IP address it's coming from, it sounds a little strange,
You own the IP address. You own the internet protocol address.
Yes, please.
You own that. But you will not. That's not the concern.
That's
we
not
cannot
the concern.
disclose that on the open line.
So hold on a second.
Open line.
So what you're telling me is you have identified offensive traffic from my computer, but the IP address to which that traffic originated in, that's not important to you. So what is it that you're using? You can't tell me what IP address. So how do you know it's mine then?
Oh, because this is the details what we have. My technician will love to answer all your questions.
My technician.
Right.
I believe you are smart enough to take care of your computer. That's a very good thing for me,
Oh, okay,
My job was basically, Mr. Shelley, let me do this, okay? My job was just to evaluate about this fact. Now it's totally your decision. I believe you are smart enough to take care of your computer, which is you are.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I would love to, but unfortunately, you still haven't. Unfortunately, since you haven't even told me which computer it is. I mean, you've told me it was a Dell. What was the model again?
Now, this is great.
I have this service tag and your email address to which it is registered. The email address to which it is registered is Sarah12188@hotmail.com with the service tag 1WM.
Does he have a real service tag?
It's my wife's computer, but
how can he get the service tag?
But somehow you've managed to obtain the service tag, which isn't encoded inside of the network traffic at all. But you haven't been able to obtain the IP address, which would literally be in every single header of every packet that leaves the network, right? You have the service tag in front of you, but you don't have the IP address. It's funny to me. It's interesting.
No. Just for curiosity, Mr. Celia, can I ask one question with you?
Sure.
Just for my curiosity.
Sure.
You said you have been working in this like last 10 years, right?
Yeah, roughly, give or take. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you might be, across many technicians, many very good technicians. There might be many hackers, right? Many hackers, like ethical hackers,
Well, I mean,
non-ethical hackers.
Yeah, right. Well, really, there's no such thing as no such thing as an ethical or an unethical hacker, right? A hacker, the term refers to a computer enthusiast. So we're talking about maybe crackers, or Windows users or Mac users. Those would be bad people.
Baby crackers, baby crackers.
Right.
So can I ask this? How much do we have to, go through books, like, knowledge, in terms of knowledge to be like one? Can I ask this? Can I ask this?
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, how much we have to go through, the library, the live sessions, the books, how much knowledge do we,
Yeah, it takes a long
how much knowledge
time.
we want to... It takes a long time?
Yeah,
like
well, yeah, as far as schooling goes, I went to 4 years of college, and I got done with that, and I went through my Red Hat certification to do Red Hat Linux servers. Then I went through and did my Cisco certification and started doing that.
Wait, Mr. Celia, I believe you are a source of knowledge, but let me ask in a simple language, how many operating systems do I have to learn?
He's asking
I'm sorry,
for
what?
advice.
How long does it take to learn? Oh, I learn every day. I'm still learning. In fact,
how many operating systems do I have to learn?
Operating systems. Yeah, I understand. Well, if you're, saying that, I think the last statistic that came out was Microsoft Windows has like something like 90% of the market share. So I suppose if you knew
1.4, okay.
Yeah. Well, so I suppose if you knew Microsoft Windows, you'd probably be able to service the majority of them. But.
Really? And you don't recommend me, the basic Linux, Unix, no?
Yeah, well, so here's actually that's an interesting. You brought up an interesting point, my friend. So you said the offending traffic was coming from a Windows machine, right?
The things what we are talking now, this is not a business, this is not related
No, we don't talk about that.
It's just a curiosity, like you are curious for something, even I'm
No, let's talk about Linux.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you know much, you are much in this field than me.
Thank you.
I don't know you personally.
Yeah.
But just asking them, if you are in this field for 10 years, you might be going through many days, many nights. That's the reason I asked you this. That's the reason. I believe I'm not going too much from my side. That's what.
Yeah, I understand.
All right, then it's totally fine.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you very much for the call. Just a couple of tips in the future, if I can extend what I've learned over the past 10 years. I would start by identifying the IP address. That's usually a good piece of information to have people when you're going to call them and tell them you're going to fix their computer. Second of all, I'd make sure that the operating system that the person is running matches the operating system that you're going to quote them. So, for example, like I don't actually have Windows installed on any of my computers, so that would be good, to ask about that first. And then lastly, I would just leave out the whole thing about the make and model, because that kind of stuff just doesn't transition through network traffic for the most part. So those are my tips for you. And use Linux. Install Ubuntu. And if you have any questions about Linux or you want to learn about Linux, head over to jblive.tv. Every Sunday, we do a show all about Linux, and you can learn about Linux, and then you can download. Then you won't have to. Then you can install Linux on your computer. And if you could, if every person you called, if you told them to install Linux, then they wouldn't have these problems. Then they wouldn't have to have you guys come fix their computers. That's what you guys could do. You could push that as a solution. Yeah, that'd help everyone.
And one more question.
Yeah.
Your name is one more question. May I ask your name first?
Noah. My first name is Noah.
Noah, that's a very, that's a good name. Okay, Noah, I just bought, new laptop. That's Acer Aspire. Acer Aspire. You have, okay. So, would you recommend something, I really want to go through, many things. I want to learn something. Would you recommend me where to start with? What to install? What antivirus?
I can't believe the direction this is going.
I would skip the antivirus, and I would go over to Ubuntu.com and just download the latest version and install that on there, because Ubuntu is going to be completely virus and spyware free for you. The operating system isn't going to cost you anything. You get all the updates for free. And it's going to be a rock-solid operating system.
So that's a free one. We don't have to pay nothing for that.
Yeah, Ubuntu is completely free. And like I said, the biggest thing is if you have a learning curve, if you have questions, head over to JupiterBroadcasting.com and watch some of the shows that are out there. And we do. I think there's 7 or 8.
I will definitely.
Check that out.
Can you help me with this?
Sure.
Can you spell that bunch? Whatever email address is, spell that.
UBUNTU.
This is amazing.
Yep, UBUNTU.
MPU.
NTU. So Uniform November, Bravo Uniform November,
This is
Tango
amazing.
Uniform.
We actually took me seriously, which was kind of cool.
It's, Uniform Bravo. Uniform Bravo. Uniform November.
Ubuntu is going to be completely virus and spyware free for you. If the operating system isn't going to cost you anything, you get all the updates for free, and it's going to be a rock solid operating system.
So that's a free one. We don't have to pay nothing for that.
Yeah, Ubuntu is completely free. And like I said, the biggest thing is if you have a learning curve, if you have questions, head over to JupiterBroadcasting.com and watch some of the shows that are out there. And we do. I think there's 7 or 8.
I will definitely.
Check that out.
Can you help me with this?
Sure.
Can you spell that bunch? Whatever email address is, spell that.
UBUNTU.
Okay.
Yep, UBUNTU.
Wow. I can't believe the direction this has gone.
MPU. Okay.
NTU. So Uniform November, Bravo Uniform November, Tango Uniform. UBUNTU. Ubuntu.
Uniform Bravo. Uniform Bravo. Uniform November. That's Pascal, then Uniform, right?
Uniform Bravo Uniform November Tango Uniform.
Okay, it's Tango. Okay, November Tango Uniform, right? Okay, I got that.
Yeah, Uniform.
Is he screwing with you?
No,
Uniform.
he's not. I don't think
November Tango Uniform.
Tango Uniform. Okay. Ubuntu.com, right?
Yep.
Why did you just say
I think
Mint?
that's right. Yep.
You should have just said
You can
Mint.
Google Ubuntu and it'll come up.
Ubuntu, okay. This is for the software, free software, right?
Yeah, totally free. It's free and open source. So I'd check that out and hopefully that works for you. But I have to run and get back to work. So, but good luck with the rest of your calls and thanks.
Fine.
Yeah,
It's fine.
Okay,
Thanks for
a
your
lot.
time and have a great day. Take care. Bye.
Okay, that's a classic.
When I answered the
That's a
phone,
classic.
if you can hear the very beginning of the call, there's just so much frustration in my voice.
Yeah.
Because I'm so pissed
Yeah.
that I have stepped out of a meeting to take this stupid call, and then this guy wants to sit here and tell me how my Windows box is sending offending traffic.
Well, and imagine if you were like a non-savvy user and you were at home and you did have a Windows box. That would have been a totally different call.
No, here's what that results in. That results in a service call from me from some poor old lady that's like, this guy charged me $79 for my offending traffic, and I don't know what to do.
I love how he's like. I love how he eventually starts taking you serious, and he's like,
Yeah. I didn't expect that. I was just trying to screw with him, but
That's classic.